Yeah, we got rivalry week coming up, Middle Tennessee. It should be a great game. It's great that we're getting to play them at home for the last game of the season. Records don't matter here. This has always been a great game, and I know they'll be excited to come here and play us, as we will them. And guys are looking forward to it. So with that being said, questions?
How much do you actually have to talk to your team about that, not looking at what Middle has done this year and just how they've sort of hit a little wall, considering this is a rivalry, the last game of the year, and just everything that really failed?
I'll talk about it a little bit, but our guys are a mature bunch, and they know it's a big game. And, you know, a lot of these guys have been in this game before. They understand it. There's always been back and forth between the two schools as far as, you know, one year one team wins, the next year the next team wins. So we just got to make sure we take care of business. They will be here ready to play, and we will get their best game. We got to match that intensity. But our guys are very excited for it to be the last game of the season at home against a conference rival. Couldn't have a better way to try to finish out the season on a winning note. But it's going to take our best effort to make that happen.
How do you gauge that team, considering like how up and down they've been, the wins that they've had? They've really exploded with some points, and then some other games they've really struggled against teams. It sort of seems like an up and down year.
Yeah, you know, I got to get more in depth to them. I've been looking at them hard the past day and a half. I know, you know, they've lost some guys in recent years that they've been counting on, and they've had a couple injuries here or there along the way. But like anything this time of year, you always seem for that last game in a rivalry game, you always seem to find a way to give your best effort and to get your best guys on the field. And so they've had some really, really close ones too, you know. And so I would suspect that it's going to be, like I talk about all the time, get to the last 5 minutes and then find a way to win it. I think that's probably going to be this type of game this week. I hope not, but it probably is going to be this type of game.
Just on offense too, it seems like just looking at things and as the year has gone on, the goals that you've set, have you guys lately in the stretch of games that you get, have you hit the goals that you wanted to, just as far as, you know, now you're hitting some bigger plays, you're connecting on intermediate stuff, it seems like a balance there. Is this about the balance that you wanted to get to?
Yeah, the number one focus is to win the game, and I don't care how you do it. And the best way to do it is play great team football. I felt like the past couple of weeks we've played really good team football. You know, our defense was outstanding in the last game again. I felt like early on in the first half, offense was able to do some really good things. We were able to score 21 in the first half. As we got into the second half, you know, they started to play really good defense on their end, but our defense was matching that and was making plays. And, you know, we wanted to win the turnover battle. So, you know, I don't want to say we were conservative, but I knew if we continue to play good defense in the second half of Southern Miss and offensively we do what we need to do to win the game, we'll win the game. And so that's our number one goal. If you look at Arkansas, it was a little different. You know, we were able to go out there early, score a lot of points in the first half, and then kind of just control the game in the second half. But both those games we played great team football. And so we're going to need to do that in this last game to win this one as well.
After going to Marshall and losing the way you did to turn around on the road at Arkansas, on the road at Southern Miss, what would you say about the way you kind of mentioned it, the way that your team not only went and won in pretty fairly dominant fashion on the road, but dictated the flow of the game along the way too?
Yeah, very proud of them for that. I feel like we have a very mature football team. Our guys like being on the road. They like the adversity. They really do. They embrace it, and that's what good football teams do. They embrace adversity, and our guys have fun playing for each other, playing for this program. There's a lot left to play for in the season with this last game and the upcoming bowl game. There's a lot of goals that we still have left, and that makes you excited to go out there and play. But I really feel like our football team is really starting to peak right now at the end of the season, and that's what you want to have. Hopefully we'll have our best game for our last game. That's the hope for this season.
From your experience, how important would this 8th win be in terms of maybe getting a better ball game than you would have otherwise if you were to finish 7-5?
Well, I think it's huge to finish the best you can, you know. I mean, the last game is something everybody remembers. You have your seniors, you know, with senior day, and to be at home and to get a win for them would be huge. And you just want to do as good as you can. You know, the bowl part of it, that's up to our administration and what we do. We would just be happy to represent our program in any bowl that we get a chance to go to.
You know, for the most part on offense, you guys have used about the same set of skill guys for most of your same 4 receivers, running back, not a whole lot of substitutions and rotations. Is that something that you anticipated going into the year that it would be those guys, and you've got a lot of depth there with many guys that were fighting for those spots at the beginning? Mm-hmm. Is that something you expected, you know, just have those same 4 guys throughout the year?
I think, yeah, you have your core, that the guys you trust, but, you know, we got some younger guys too. They haven't had a lot of opportunities, and we'll see those guys in the future. Hopefully next season it'll be their turn. But you kind of find your core, the guys you believe in, the guys you trust, and, you know, there's got to be a lot of camaraderie there, a lot of belief in each other, and you got to be able to develop that. And that's why you see a lot of the same guys out there. We do roll the tight end position and a little bit in the receiver position, but, you know, we got guys we trust, guys we believe in, the guys the quarterback believes in, and so that's a big part of having a good football team is to have that core intact. And I really like who our core is and who our guys are that are playing for us.
Appleberry got in late in the game. What went into allowing him to go out there and play as opposed to maybe some of the other guys that you lean on?
You know, I really wanted to take a look at him. He's really put in his time this year. He's been a great team player, does anything you ask. And, you know, I just felt like, hey, let's give him an opportunity to go out there and try to shine a little bit. Was very impressed with what he did. You know, made a short yardage run right there, you know, on 3rd down and 4th down to move the change, and was very impressed. Wanted to get KT out there. You know, he got out there, and he's done a great job of being a great team player. And, you know, he's a very talented quarterback as well. But we got a lot of guys like that on our football team, and hopefully they're future stars for us down the road.
Is that pass from KT to Ty designed that way the whole time, just sort of see what Ty can do?
No, not Ty was actually the layoff guy. So we had Garland was running a wheel route, but we knew that you know, if Garland didn't pop wide open, he was going to have an easy layoff to Ty, and so we got an easy 6-7 yards there, and KT did a great job executing that play. We'd actually been practicing that for a couple weeks and just felt like it was the right time to call it, but need to maybe get him involved a little more on some of those things. So
Gage is at about 1,000 yards on the season now, and we can look from the outside and, you know, understand it's his first year as a running back and just how impressive that is. But from a coaching perspective, how impressive has his season been, not just him being in his first year as a running back, but the success that he's had?
Yeah, I've been very surprised with Gage, really just from the get-go, how he's embraced, you know, the move, how durable he's been, how dependable he's been. It's been hard to put another running back in the game just because of he's a very dependable guy. You know, he's not going to be the guy that goes and takes it to the house for 50 yards every time, even though his first carry at running back he was able to do that. But you want a guy that you can depend on, a guy that you believe in, and he's definitely that guy for us. And you know, as we move forward, I always talk about I'd like to be running back by committee. Just felt like how the season has gone. He's been that guy that, you know, we trust, and we know we can go win with him. And so next season will bring a different perspective. You know, every season's a new season, and with new characters and all those things. So looking forward to what he can do next season, but also what the other backs can bring to us next season as well.
D'Angelo Malone just doing what he's doing all year, got the record tackles for loss and the score. How fun is it to see a guy like that get something like a touchdown, considering the way that he's been able to play this entire year.
Yeah, I was never more happy as a coach. I don't know if you guys saw me. I was sprinting down the sidelines. It was the first time all year that I've done that. I usually keep my emotions in check, but when that play happened and we were able to get the sack fumble for the touchdown, I knew it sealed the game for us, and that's kind of what D'Angelo's been all year. You know, he's been that guy that when we really need the play, he comes through for us, and it's very special to see a guy get the sack and then also be able to pick it up and go score with it. That shows the athleticism he has. My hat's off to Jeremy Darvin too, because he's really the one that got it started. He was about to sack the quarterback, and then D'Angelo was able to come in off the edge there and clean it up and get the sack fumble. But just says a lot about how our guys play for each other and believe in each other and those kind of things. So
you're an offensive guy at heart, so have you noticed there's a different kind of excitement that comes to, especially this season, that comes to seeing your defense make big plays like that?
Yeah, the best thing that I've learned as a new head football coach is I love defensive scores. They're the greatest thing in football. Every time we've done it 2 weeks in a row, and it's like the greatest feeling in the world to me. So, and the number one thing for us is to win as a team. You know, a lot of times, you know, I've been an offensive coordinator and I've been a part of some explosive offenses that were outstanding. This is the funnest offense I've ever been able to coach, to be honest with you, in a different sense, in a sense that the guys that I get to coach as a head coach, just the dependability, the want to, the belief in each other, how they embrace competition, not only from an offense but as a team. It's been really, really fun to coach those guys, and then you look at our defense. It's great to watch how they go out there every single week and are able to dominate games and do what they do. So it's been a great season. I'd like to end it on a terrific note and have a great team win in this last one.
You mentioned that this offense being the best, most fun to coach. Is that just because of maybe how far they've come?
Yes.
As far as the year, just the work and what's produced?
Yes. You know, I didn't know what we would be like, to be honest with you, going into the season. You know, I hoped that we would be a good football team, but yeah, every coach takes pride in not where a team starts, but how they finish. And I just really feel like our guys are coming down the stretch, finishing strong. There's been a lot of growth, a lot of development as a team, and it's a special thing to have that bond with your players, and feel like we have something special moving forward here, and want to make sure though we finish it the right way with a win this week.
How is Stephen Duncan doing in his?
Doing great. Yeah, doing great. Steven's rehab's been phenomenal. He's back working out. He's out there at practice, stays locked in, always watching film. Kind of a coach at heart, to be honest with you. He loves the game and studying the film and all those things. So he hasn't missed a beat. The only difference is he's just not out there practicing. So